Alright. Hi, it's me, Gabrielle here. Ah, my. It should hold it instead. But no, it does not. My head looks crooked. Alright, hi, I'm Gabrielle. Gabrielle Cunniston. And today I'm gonna do. Today I'm gonna talk about. Alright, so it's raining out there. But of course, I do want to talk about, a throwback Friday Saga and Tale. And I haven't done any of these in some time. So this throwback one would have to be way back. I don't know, give or take 2001 YL. There was this house that was my mother's mother's house. Would be my grand would be, I guess it would be our great grandmother's house, grandfather's house too. So, and that's the only room in the house they ever gotten around to make it watertight. Oh yeah, I guess so. Water was the bedroom. The rest of the house leaked, and then there were holes, and he had to take sheets and put them through the holes to stop the wind from coming through. And this was back when Aries, he was still a year and a half after he had given up his godhood for the last time. So, but give or take that this house was in bad shape then. Go way back to when we were younger and happened to live in that house. The house was all bad. I mean, there were holes. Wind blew through the holes. So you had to put sheets to stop the wind from going through, as I said. And on top of that, you had rain. So this was back probably after my mother and father got wedlock free, and then how my mother at the time wedlocked Huston, yeah, Cufford, yeah, Cufford, which he wasn't really that good either at the time. So alright. So the rain would always come through when it rained. And my mother was always getting irked about it and getting mad and rushed and said, "Get bowls and fill up with water. Then you go and you go throw it into the bathtub or the bowl, whatever." It was bad. And the only room in that house that I ever got around to working on to make where the water did not come through was the bedrooms. So the rest of the house, what you did was you had to put bowls to get all the water, and then you had to wait it out. You had to stop it out in the bedroom. And at the time, it was me, Ernest Joxer, Amarise, Hope, Eve, Solon before he died. Xenos and Osmond weren't even around yet at the time. So give or take how this was fucked up. And it was, you know. And why did the shingles in the roof never got worked on? Who knows? My mother said that it was Huston's job to work on it. Huston always said it was one of her jobs. They could never stand on whose job it was, so it never got done. So years later, when we go back to that house again, it's still in bad shape. This was the house where Aries had to hide it out. When folks that Aries had shamed it and besmirched it when he was a god, and when they learned he wasn't a god anymore, they wanted to get even with him. So that was the same house we took him to. The same one that had all the hang-ups. Only then the door was still on its hinges. Yeah, the door always fell off its hinges, and we always had to pick to put the door back on. We didn't live in that house, that long. you know. Oh, I know that some of you folks out there who are familiar that know about our show would know about that house the house that I speak of. You know. So it is what it is. Um, so I just wanted to make a film talking about my time when we lived in a house where, when the water would always rain, and then the water would come through the roof and they go on the ground, and everyone would get wet. Then he had to put bowls down. Yeah, you could see Ernest and Joxer and Amarise and me and Hope and Sol and Eve and going around and putting these bowls down to stop water from coming through. And then my mother getting wet and her getting irked mad and wretched over it. Huston at the time getting irked mad and wretched over it. But at the end of the day, neither of them actually did anything to make, they did get the bedrooms watered, made it where the water wouldn't come through the bedrooms. But at the end of the day, that was it. So I just want to tell you that saga and tale, because I haven't told one of these throwback sagas and tales in some time here. Well, that's it. By the way, is my head a little crooked?